I'm Becky Mitchell from the Becker County Museum. Thanks for joining us today for Museum Roadshow. Today I have Layne Clear, our event and program lead, with us, and right now, natural sciences extraordinaire, so to speak. We are actively working, finally, it feels like it's been forever, on our natural sciences area. Many of you remember we had quite the taxidermy collection in our old facility, and that all carried over into this facility. All of the animals have been cleaned and teeth brushed, so to speak, and feathers brushed and just dusted and polished up to the best of our ability. But there's more that we're still kind of discovering and finding in our collection. A lot. When we moved, many of you have heard me talk about how we kind of stumbled upon file cabinets full of rocks and various collections of butterflies and what have you. And so instead of moving into this new facility and kind of just squirreling them all back away, we really wanted to figure out a way to showcase them. And Layne's working on that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about kind of your process and some of the very cool things you're finding?
All right. Well, first of all, I think the cornerstone of the natural science collection comes from the great cases that you brought into the museum. You found them. Great job. But they worked great because they're actually converted jewelry cabinets that we turned around, so we have all of these extra drawers on the front and glass on the top and on the front. Not done with the doors yet. But it's great because it still gives you full access to view whatever we have in the cases, but it protects our artifacts that are in the cases. So for instance, over in this one behind me here, we have a bunch of small taxidermied little songbirds, the little Tweety birds as I've been calling them, and a lot of them are very old. One of them I saw had a tag on it that said it was mounted in 1943. So this little guy, when I was dusting him off, was so fragile. So it was so important to me to get them cleaned up and then put behind glass so they won't get that dusty dirty again, to preserve their life, as we've talked about in other instances of our artifacts. Over in our cases over here, we have a lot of interesting examples of really cool stones and gems, and there's actually some metal ore in here as well. I'm not gonna say most, a lot of these in here are not from Becker County, but they were in somebody's collection in Becker County, and then it was donated to the museum. And they're just excellent examples of the natural sciences that we have around us. As you back up to this case right here, this case is full of a lot of fossils in forms of shells, in forms of preserved fern leaves, in forms of coral, and then some gorgeous pieces of petrified wood that I'm really excited about. And then as you progress further and further this way, right now there's just one moth, but I have heard rumors of a beautiful butterfly collection that I'm looking forward to being able to pull out and share with all of you. And then we have some bone examples further down there. As we're looking forward to expanding this space more, I plan on utilizing the wonderful drawers and cabinets that we have in here. So much like on our bison exhibit, when you pull out a drawer, it'll be topped with plexiglass or glass and then have some of our smaller collection pieces tucked away safely inside of it. So again, we can view and appreciate all of these things, but we don't have to worry about them degrading over time with our touch.
And I know we have some larger pieces that you're actually planning for on the bottom.
Exactly.
Where some of the cabinet doors are. So give me an example of like your top 5 favorite finds so far. Tell us a little bit about them.
Oh, we only have 5 minutes?
Well, yeah.
One of my favorite things that I found that I wasn't 100% sure what it was when I first saw it. It didn't have its tag matched with it. I found it in a cabinet, and when I was looking at it, I noticed that on the very insides of it, it has what looks to be glass inside of it. And I'm very familiar with what glass slag looks like, just a little off cast when you're working with glass. And that led me down a little research hole to figure out that it was called a fulgurite. And a fulgurite is what is created when lightning strikes sand, and it superheats the sand and turns it into glass.
Fascinating. So I know we're getting short on time. So why don't you just list off your final 4 and then invite people to come in and check them out.
Final 4.
Final
All right.
4.
We have a fossilized fern over here that's absolutely gorgeous. We have a cube crystallized piece of salt from Salt Lake in Utah over there. That's 3. Number 4. In the case over there, we have what the artifact tag is listed as a mammoth tooth. I'm very much looking forward to doing more research on that. And number 5, honestly, has been the, I will say, honor of being able to take care of our taxidermy collection. My dad was a taxidermist, so I have a long history of caring for and preserving animals just as much as artifacts.
Wonderful. Well, we look forward to this collection growing. Of course, if you want to help us grow it, and as far as the display goes, we would certainly love your assistance with that. But come and check us out at the Becker County Museum. Thanks for joining us on the Museum Roadshow.